Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Today, I want to talk about an interview that I saw Lil Wayne do on Nightline. During that interview, he was asked about Black Lives Matter. And at first, he pretended like he didn't know what Black Lives Matter is. And then he went on to talk about how he's a rich black person and how that in and of itself is a sign that America knows that Black Lives Matter. And then he went on to talk about how there's a white man filming him and that he's a nigger, that Lil Wayne's a nigger and there's a white man filming him. And because he's getting all this attention and he has all this success, that somehow that means that Black lives do matter in America. And then at some point, he's asked if he feels any kind of connection to Black Lives Matter. And he says he doesn't feel connected to anything that doesn't have a damn thing to do with him. And that's basically what he was saying about Black Lives Matter. It doesn't have a damn thing to do with him. So I want to talk about these remarks. First of all, a lot of people like him, they think that because they have achieved individually, that somehow that means that racism is non-existent, that somehow that means that racism is not a factor, and that somehow they are divorced from the needs and concerns of their community. And I kind of find that this is crazy, especially for someone who has profited off of claiming his community and claiming to be from the hood and claiming to represent the people that are in the struggle. But yet when it comes to the things that really matter, this man is voiceless. This man is silent. This man has nothing to say about the issues that affect the hood that he supposedly loves so much. That's what I don't get with these hip hop artists. You know, how they claim their hood and they claim to have so much respect for the community. They claim to represent that community. But when it comes to really representing the issues that matter to those communities, they are silent. And that speaks volumes. These people are complete sellouts. They have sold all the way out. So once they get enough money, once they get enough fame, they forget that they are black. They forget that this issue of Black Lives Matter, it goes beyond the individual group called Black Lives Matter. It's not even really about those individuals or those individual groups. It's about an idea, a concept that our lives have value. It's about demanding justice for all those people that have been killed by the police. Every other day, there's another black person that you hear about being killed by these police. Recently, they started the trial for the Walter Scott matter, that brother who was shot in the back by a police officer and killed by that police officer. And they recently started another trial for the case of Sam Dubose, another black man killed by the police. So every day you have these incidents of police brutality. And these young people are being targeted, young black people and even older black people like Walter Scott are being targeted and killed by these police, primarily because they're black. When they see black faces, they don't place any value on our lives. They view us as dangerous criminals. So the mere fact that you have black skin means that you have a connection to this whole issue of Black Lives Matter. Because these police, they don't make distinctions between celebrities and regular black people. If they don't know that particular celebrity, if they're not familiar with that celebrity, you are just another nigger in their minds. And the sad thing is, people like Lil Wayne help perpetuate these negative stereotypes of the black man as a criminal, as a thug, as a gangster, because this man sings about this stuff in his music. So when people have limited exposure to black people and their only exposure to black people is a buffoon, a minstrel like Lil Wayne celebrating negativity, that's the perception that is formed in their minds when they think about black people. They see us as dangerous, just like they saw us as dangerous after the original Birth of a Nation film that depicted black people as sex-crazed criminals. And that's how they see black people. And people like Lil Wayne perpetuate this image of the dangerous black man. And because of that perpetuation, and because of just the history of racism in this country, the police shoot first and ask questions later. This man, I'm not surprised by anything that this man has said. First of all, this is a man that talks about how racism doesn't exist simply because he had white people in his audience. I mean, this fool knows that police brutality is a problem. I mean, you had Alton Sterling killed, shot in the chest. You had Eric Garner choked to death, live on camera for the whole damn world to see. But yet this fool wants to turn a blind eye to that reality. This man had the nerve to say that racism doesn't exist, and he comes from Louisiana. He knows about Katrina. He actually wrote a song about Hurricane Katrina and the government's failed response to that situation, where black people were treated like they were living in a third world country. They were treated like second-class citizens. The government response to that crisis was abysmal because black lives didn't matter then and they don't matter now. But yet this fool, Lil Wayne, has the nerve to think that because he has some wealth, because he has some fame, because some cameras are pointed on him, and because he's doing some damn interview, that somehow he doesn't have any kind of connection to Black Lives Matter. I'm sure he knows people in his neighborhood who've been roughed up by the police or even killed by the police. But yet this fool doesn't think he has any kind of connection to Black Lives Matter because he has some success. There are plenty of stories about police corruption in Louisiana. There are plenty of stories about police brutality in Louisiana. Again, Alton Sterling is a prime example of that. But yet this fool wants to turn a blind eye to it. And this is to be expected. This is a man who places zero value on Black life. This is a man who joked about the brutal beating and lynching of Emmett Till, a young black boy who was beat beyond recognition and thrown in a river by some white racists simply for allegedly whistling or looking at a white woman. But this guy, Lil Wayne, thought that that was something humorous, just something to joke about. So clearly, he doesn't value Black lives. And it's apparent in his music, music that sings about killing Black people, that glorifies the destruction of his own damn community. So it's clear that this man doesn't care about Black lives. He sings about killing people, sings about killing women. This man has no respect for women or Black people. So this is no surprise. And the question is, why do we continue to support fools like this? Why do we continue to buy his music? It's time to boycott these artists that don't have any kind of respect for our community. Artists that profit off of poverty. These people are poverty pimps for all intents and purposes. Pimping stories of hard life in the inner city to make money for themselves. They have made a fool out of us, and it's time for us to stop supporting them. Stop giving them our dollars. Stop giving them our attention. So tell me what you think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.